right, so we only have 4 more slides to go. So let's wrap this up. So last time I had talked about, showing you the picture of this chubby little baby, and mentioned that a forensic odontologist is able to determine if a bite mark was left by a child versus an adult. Okay, the last bite mark slide that I'm going to show you is actually, okay, it's pretty horrific, so I'll try to get past it really fast. I just want to caution, it is a deceased child who suffered, who died because of a dog attack. So I just want to caution you of that. So here is the child, and you can see there's, slashing wounds to the child's neck. However, the pathologist determined that these were not made by a blade. They were actually much thicker, and they were made by the tooth of a dog in this example. Let me go past that picture. But my point is that an odontologist will be able to tell you, is this consistent with an animal bite versus a human bite or potentially some other type of instrument. And they can probably differentiate between, this is a large cat, versus a coyote versus a pit bull. So they can say, is it a large cat bite versus a dog bite? Are they going to be able to tell you the exact species of that dog? No. Now you can do forensic DNA analysis on veterinary samples as well. So potentially, swab those wounds and, look at the DNA, compare it to the dog that you suspect, or the animal that you suspect of making that. But the point is the odontologist can tell you whether the bite mark is consistent or the injuries are consistent with an animal attack and potentially what species of animal. Okay, so to wrap this up, I just want to talk a bit about evidence collection. So remember, especially when it is a high energy event like a plane crash, teeth are small and, they're sturdy, they're made of enamel, but when there's high heat and there is tremendous force and pressure, could they be broken into smaller pieces? Yes, especially when they're burned or incinerated, they can be extremely fragile. Remember, if there's any objects such as, food products or anything with a bite mark, it should be packaged in breathable, either paper or cardboard so that you don't get bacterial and fungal growth, which could potentially destroy DNA. Also, if it, depending on the environmental conditions, dentures can be twisted, different, crowns or fillings could look black or gray, but there usually is going to be enough detail that an odontologist can still make a determination. And remember, at the base of it, a bite mark is a bruise. And so the odontologist is trying to make interpretations from that bruise mark. Okay, last thing I want to talk about briefly is something called dental profiling. Okay, and this is when you really don't know who the person is. Maybe there's no one in the missing persons database who is even close to this person. You don't have any identification. You don't have any dental records. So this can be done, when the person is skeletonized, but potentially dental profiling can be done when the person is not decomposed and they maybe just don't have identification with them. So, for example, there are certain racial populations where the teeth have unique appearances. For example, in Asian and Native American populations, they have what are called shovel-shaped incisors. And so if you look at the appearance, and the best way you can see it is looking here from the top down, or basically, up at the tooth. So here's a typical Caucasian person's incisor tooth, and you can see that the margin is smooth. Whereas Asian or Native American populations have kind of this extra crease in here, or it's almost like, a part that's been shoveled out. And so that's why they call it a shovel shape. So that could potentially indicate, and this is an Asian or a Native American person. Also, other things like if the person has had braces, Normally, or any type of cosmetic work, whether it's putting on veneers or teeth whitening, that's not something that a person who is in a low socioeconomic status is going to be able to afford. So either that can indicate, hey, this is someone who maybe worked in a profession where their appearance was really important. Maybe they were in sales, or they were working up and close with people, or they had the socioeconomic means to go have cosmetic dentistry done. Same thing with having braces. They're expensive and they're not covered by insurance. So, not everyone can afford them. If there are fillings found that are gold, this suggests that this was dental work that was done, probably decades ago, simply because gold is not used in fillings anymore. Most current day fillings are actually porcelain, so they blend in with the color of the tooth. If they are large silver fillings, that shows that maybe the person went to, a dental clinic that was free, perhaps a free clinic, like is offered at the University of Iowa. It's less expensive dental care that probably was not covered by insurance. So that indicates a certain socioeconomic level. And if the person has decayed or missing teeth that were missing, prior to the person's death, that indicates that, either maybe they were homeless and mentally ill, and so they just didn't really care about their teeth, or they didn't have the means to seek out dental care. And so that indicates something about their socioeconomic status as well. But that's what dental profiling is. It's like, let's try to get a picture of this person because we don't have any x-rays to compare to, and we don't have any idea of who this person is. Okay, that's the end of odontology. I'm going to get this uploading, and that is the end of the material for the class. So, yay, congratulations, you made it.